Today's question comes from Michelle in Orlando, and she asks, who should I name as my power of attorney? All right, Michelle, this is a very important question. And whether you have a lot of assets or just a few, this document has the power to protect everything you've worked for or to put it all at risk. Choosing the wrong person can lead to missed bills, drained accounts, family feuds, and in some cases, even guardianship court. But choosing the right person, well, that brings security, stability, and peace. So let's break this down clearly, calmly, and practically. Let's start with what a power of attorney actually is. A Florida durable power of attorney lets someone that you choose handle financial, legal, and property matters while you're alive. This includes things like paying your bills, managing bank accounts, dealing with insurance, handling real estate, filing taxes. Basically, stepping into your shoes when you can't manage things yourself. And here's something people often miss. In Florida, it becomes effective the moment you sign it. There is no waiting period. No, only if something happens. No future trigger. The person you choose will have real, immediate authority. And this is why the choice matters so greatly. This is not a ceremonial document. This is a real power that you're given to someone, and it requires real responsibility. Now, let's talk about the biggest mistake people make. They choose someone based on feelings instead of qualifications. So, he's my oldest son, or I don't want to hurt her feelings, or I want to keep the peace, so I don't want to offend them, so I'm just going to appoint this person. Well, I understand the heart behind those decisions, but they often lead to conflict and confusion. Your power of attorney needs to be chosen the same way that you would choose a pilot to fly a plane. Competence over emotions. The person you choose should be organized, dependable, financially stable, emotionally mature, and capable of making decisions even when things are stressful. This person must be able to follow instructions, and I'm talking about your instructions, even if they don't agree with them. It's not about honor, it's about stewardship. Let me give you a quick cautionary example. I worked with a client who chose her daughter out of love. The daughter was sweet and caring and close to her, but she struggled with managing her own finances. Meanwhile, she had a son who lived out of state. They weren't as close, but he was responsible and he was financially secure. But the mom didn't want to hurt the feelings of her daughter, so she named her daughter as the power of attorney. Within months, bills went unpaid, checks were written with no records, and withdrawals were made with the promise of, I'll put it back later. It created tension, mistrust, and eventually a family breakdown. And the saddest part is that the daughter, she wasn't being malicious. She was just simply overwhelmed. She was out of her wheelhouse. And when someone can barely manage their own life, let me just tell you, they cannot manage yours. And I want to also share the opposite experience. A gentleman came to me with 3 adult children. The oldest one lived closest to him, but he chose the middle child, the one who demonstrated that she could handle her own finances well. She didn't live that close by, but she handled things well. She communicated clearly and stayed calm in stressful situations. Now, when he became seriously ill, she stepped in with professionalism, transparency, and grace. She kept detailed records, updated the family, and handled everything properly. Because he chose the right person, not the expected one, his assets were protected and the family stayed united. When you choose wisely, your power of attorney becomes a blessing, not a burden. So, who should you choose? Let's talk about your options. If you're married and your spouse is responsible and financially stable, they're often the natural first choice. But if your spouse struggles with money, has difficulty making decisions under pressure, or simply doesn't want that responsibility, it's okay to choose someone else. Be honest about their strengths. Next, you can choose an adult child, but choose the most responsible one, not the one who you feel or who may feel entitled to the position. the one who pays their bills on time, the one who handles conflict with maturity, the one who can separate emotion from duty. Sometimes the quiet child is the one with the strongest backbone. And after you've thought about the children, or if you don't have children, consider a trusted friend or a professional, a CPA, for example, or a financial advisor or an attorney. When family dynamics are complicated, choosing a neutral, responsible third party often protects everyone. So let's now talk about co-agents, because you can have more than one, right? Florida allows you to appoint multiple people to serve at the same time. Sometimes this works beautifully. For example, if you have siblings who communicate well and truly support each other, that could be a good thing. But if your children argue, compete, or have tension already, co-agents can become a disaster because every major decision may require cooperation. And if one person disagrees or refuses to sign, then everything gets stalled. Nothing moves. Your bills don't get paid, your property can't be managed, and your affairs get stuck. So here's my rule of thumb. If they work well together right now, today, co-agency may work. If they struggle today, don't set them up for future conflict. Choose one primary agent and let everyone else stay informed. Now, the part people often forget, your backup agent. See, life happens. Your first choice might become sick, might move away, get burnt out, or simply be overwhelmed at the moment that you need them. If you don't name a backup, your family might have to go to court to get authority to help you. And guardianship court, you don't want to put your family through that. Naming one or even two backups is one of the best ways to keep peace and protect your future. So here's the question that I want you to sit with. If something happened to you tomorrow and you couldn't manage your finances, who would protect you? Who would act with integrity? Who would follow your wishes? Who has shown responsibility in their own life? If you can think of someone right now, that's your person. And if you're still unsure about who to choose, don't feel bad because most people struggle with this decision. I help clients walk through this all the time, and I'm happy to help you too. If you'd like to talk through your options, you can find my consultation booking link in the description. I'm Attorney Otto. Plan wisely, live confidently, and I'll see you next time.